This sounds fire. Types of people after high school.
You did it. You graduated. You survived 4 years of awkward class presentations, school lunches that probably violated the Geneva Convention, and your Discord group chat did not get leaked. But now you're out. You're free. And suddenly that question hits like a truck. So what's next? Some people sprint toward college like it's the finish line. Others
Yeah, that's what I did, bro.
2 days later, like, yep, this is life now. And then there's the rest of us just sitting in our rooms like, should I start a podcast or a pyramid
I also
scheme?
did that
Let's
too.
talk about it. The types of people
No,
after
not a
high
scam,
school
bro.
and how weird this phase of life actually is. Starting off, we have the college dreamer. These are kids that always knew they were going to college.
I knew
They
I
had
was
a
going to
dream
college. I ain't
school,
gonna lie.
A major, a
Hell
life
yeah.
plan, a backup plan, and a backup
Yeah.
for their backup.
Wait,
they
whoa.
got their dorm set up off
What was that?
Pinterest, joined a Discord server
That's
for their
facts.
class before orientation, and had their roommate's name memorized before they even
Listen,
graduated high school.
Listen, there is nothing wrong with having a plan. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Always follow God's plan, but there's nothing wrong with having a plan and properly pre-planning. You know what I'm saying? I knew I was going to go to college, man. If you want to go to college, bro, then go to college, gang. What? If you want to go to college. You know what I'm saying, bro? Don't let somebody tell you something like this. But I'm going to let the video keep playing, though.
Fast forward a few weeks and it's like, yeah, I'm 14 grand in debt, I hate my major, and my roommate's been coughing since the second week of school. College is cool if you know what you're doing, but most people don't. Most people just go because they're told to by parents, teachers, guidance counselors, and
That's
the
why you
ghost
gotta
of the
figure out your
American dream.
plan.
And now you're paying 40 grand a year just to
Listen,
cry in a communal
listen, this is why you need to have a plan. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, bro. As long as you properly pre-plan, you don't have to worry too much about these certain issues. You know what I'm saying, bro? That ass. Loans can be paid off if properly executed. That's all. Go see a financial advisor. Figure it out. Start planning beforehand. That ass, bro. It's really not that hard. Like, college is really not that an issue. If you know what you want to do in life, if you want to be a doctor, you have to go to college. If you want to be a lawyer, you have to go to college. Brother, if you want to be an occupational therapist, you got to go to college. So don't let yeah, bro, don't get detoured from that.
bathroom. Fun times. Then there's the people who skip college and go straight into the workforce. They start working warehouse jobs, retail, construction, whatever gets the bills paid. They're making money, stacking checks, and eating out every night because they still live at home and only have 3 bills. At first it sounds smart. You're making money right away, no student loans hanging over your head, and your weekends
Tongue. Sore. Like, bro, like what?
free if you're lucky. You start thinking, hey, this might actually be a better path. But then the reality sets in. The hours are long, the pay isn't as life-changing as you thought, you're constantly tired physically and mentally, you go home
Nah, that's
drained,
not brain
you wake
rot,
up
bro.
drained, and every day starts blurring together. You're surrounded by people twice your age who have been there since before you were even born, and they'll say
Yeah,
things like,
this
it's
is
not
what I'm
great, but it's a
experiencing right
job,
now.
or at least it's stable. They're not chasing anything, they're just surviving, and then that's when it hits you. This isn't a launch pad, this is where people stay, because they don't have time, energy, or options left to go anywhere else. It becomes routine. Wake up, commute, work, home, sleep. Do that for the rest of your life.
Well, hear me out. What if you did both? I'm just saying, gang. What if you did both, bro? Because hypothetically speaking, like, I don't know, I went to college. Right now, I'm going through that I'm working, you feel me, at a job where, like, it really does feel like work, whatever he said, sleep, yada, 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 yada. That's okay, bro. That is how majority of adults live their life. On some real shit, do you not think that your mother and your father don't live that kind of lifestyle to provide for you and have food on the table for you to eat every single night, including their mouths as well? Bro, that's just how life goes. Unless you are a multimillionaire at birth, or if you have some kind of very, very successful business, corporation, whatever it is, there's no way that you're in your adulthood, it won't be this kind of lifestyle. You know what I'm saying?
With maybe 2 weeks off.
Kicked my uncle. Am I learning? Yeah, you're learning right now, bro. Kicked my uncle in the balls. Yeah, I'm Batman. I just ate protein bar out of a trash can. Ooh, fought a crippled man. That dude really lacked hands. Stripper shitted on me when she gave me a lap dance. Hold on. Yo, Maddie, that was kind of bars, bro. I ain't gonna lie, that was kind of tough. Yo, what's good, Forsaken? Yo, I appreciate y'all for joining in, mate.
per year.
If y'all are wondering what video we're watching Types of People After High School. Types of People After High School.
Boss approves the PTO. And for a lot of people, the scariest part isn't even the job itself. It's the idea that you could blink and suddenly be like 40, still there, still stuck, wondering what your life could have been.
That's why you have to keep applying other places.
Then there's that person, the one who said, I'm taking a gap year. Not because they couldn't go to college, not because they had a plan, but because they needed to find themselves, to travel, to breathe, to experience the world. You ask them where they're going and they'll hit you with, I'm thinking Europe or maybe Southeast Asia.
Bro.
You know, go off the grid for a bit.
Bro, there's so many people that do this shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, even in college, bro, I knew so many people that were just always going to like Europe, Australia, like Hawaii. Just like, how do you even have money to do that? Like, that's just literally insane. Like, well, Batman is weird. Hold on. Well, Batman is weird. He ate trash. When did Batman ever eat trash, bro? When did that ever happen?
6 months later, they haven't gone further than the local Taco Bell. They wake up at 2 p.m., scroll TikTok for 3 hours, and then tweet something deep like, healing isn't linear. Their idea of working on themselves is watching 3-hour video essays on YouTube about movies they've never seen. They downloaded Duolingo to learn French, but stopped after bonjour. They keep saying they're gonna start a clothing brand, and they did design one hoodie in Canva that they haven't posted because they're waiting for the right vibe. And listen, there's no shame in taking a break. Sometimes that time off is necessary, especially if school has burnt you out. But the problem is this break becomes your whole life. You know, 1 month becomes 3, 3 becomes 6, and before you know it, they've built a full routine around doing absolutely nothing. Wake up late, stare at a wall, play some Valorant, hit up their local gas station for dinner, and repeat. But they'll keep saying, trust me, bro, I got plans. And when you ask what those plans are, it's always vague. Big things coming. I'm in a building phase right now. No, you're not. You're in pajamas at 4 p.m. They'll talk about launching something like they're Elon Musk, but the closest thing they've launched is a DoorDash order. They keep referencing
that was actually funny.
Like it's the reason they haven't made a move yet. Like, I mean, with inflation the way it is right now, bro, you don't even pay for gas. What are you talking about? And look, we've all been there to some extent. You know, the weird limbo phase. You're technically free. You don't owe anyone anything. You're just kind of floating. And for a while, that can feel amazing. You're not answering to teachers. You're not stuck in a classroom. You're not dealing with exams or deadlines. But if you're not careful, that float becomes a free fall. You stop making decisions. You stop trying, and you convince yourself that you're waiting for the right moment when really
there's always that one kid in school. Now, there will always be that one kid in school, bro. And there's nothing that you'll be able to do about it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're just scared to start. Gap years are fine. Resting is fine. Vibing is fine. But if your gap year turns into a gap decade and your life
that's a problem
around a clothing brand
that's
that
a
does
problem
not exist yet, maybe it's time to clock back in. Next up, we have the friend who straight up disappears after high school. High school ends and this person vanishes like it's a Marvel post-credit scene.
I'm not gonna lie.
They were at every hangout, every group chat,
I'm not gonna lie, bro. This is 110% me. I'm gonna be real, but I ended up going to school in Florida, so like I took off. However, like coming back and shit, I don't talk to nobody much. Like after high school, I just straight disappeared. So I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying?
Chaotic late night Discord call, then poof, they're gone. They stop replying, they leave the Snap group chat without saying a word. They're not mad, they're not beefing, they just dipped. At first you're like, maybe they're busy, but then weeks turn into months, birthdays go by, inside jokes get forgotten. And the next time you think of them is because Instagram reminded you with one of those weird people you may know stories where they're standing in front of a Jeep with a quote like, only forward from here. Then one day out of nowhere you run into them. Target, gas station, Taco Bell, doesn't matter. And it's the weirdest interaction of your life. Oh my god, how have you been? Good, I'm just working a lot, grinding. Yeah, grinding what? No one knows. You're half expecting them to tell you they're a freelance monk or something. And the thing is, they're not weird or rude or distant when you see them again. They're chill, they're polite. It's like catching up with a coworker you forgot you used to be best friends with. You part ways with some, awkward let's hang soon energy, knowing damn well it's never happening. And it's not a bad thing really. It's just what happens. People drift, they move towns, they get new jobs, new circles, new priorities, but it still hits you sideways when someone who was in your life.
Bro, I sold. Basically what I said is, hey, there's always that one kid in school. Hey, I get all A's in school. Yo, bro, it's absolutely amazing that you get all A's in school, gang. I applaud you to that. I applaud you to getting all A's in school because it is very difficult to uphold high grades in multiple classes at once. And that's very impressive, sir. I'm not going to lie to you. Secondly, it is absolutely okay if you get any grades and below, as long as you're putting in your full effort. You know what I'm saying? But Mason, yo, congratulations. That's gas, bro. That's fire, bro.
Life every single day just becomes a memory. You start realizing how many friendships were based on proximity, not purpose. Y'all weren't soulmates, y'all just sat next to each other in biology for 4 years. And it's weird because when it happens, you think you did something wrong. Like, did I say something? Did I forget to reply to something important? No, they're just on a different path now, and that's okay. It still stings, but it's okay. Eventually, you'll be that person to someone else too. You'll vanish from their life, pop up months later. Yo, it's been a minute, DM with no explanation. And that's just how life moves after high school, you know? Friendships stop being automatic. You actually have to put effort in, and if neither of you do, that bond just fades. Not out of malice or hatred, just out of life. Sorry, I'll try to keep it lighthearted, not to get too existential with you guys. Alright, next up we got the bum. There's the gap year person, and then there's their final form, the bum.
Yo.
The gap year person pretends that there's a plan. The bum, they're not even pretending anymore. They're in a deep void, no goals, no job, no plan, just vibes, vape clouds, and mattress on the floor. Their sleep schedule doesn't exist. They just collapse at random. They've watched 18 seasons of Grey's Anatomy this month alone. Every day is just a blur of TikToks, microwave burritos, and nah, I'll do it tomorrow. You ask them what they're up to, and they'll go, just chilling lately, trying to figure stuff out. Bro, it's been a year. What are you trying to figure out? Shapes? They'll randomly bring up business ideas that sound like fever dreams, like, I might start a CBD candle line. I've been looking into, like, vending machines and passive income, you know? You look over and they're watching a 6-hour YouTube documentary on crypto by a guy named Finance Daddy. They haven't applied to a single job, not because they're unqualified, but because they haven't updated their resume since 10th grade when they worked at Chuck E. Cheese for 2 weeks. And here's the thing, it didn't start this way. Most of the time, the bum used to be the gap year person. They took a break to chill and they just never got back up. It's like when your computer goes into sleep mode but never wakes back up. That's them. It's being stuck in like a permanent loading
facts,
screen.
though.
That's kind of the post-high school lineup. There's definitely some people I haven't covered, so 10,000 likes for a part 2. Whether you're in college pretending to take notes on a Zoom class or working 10-hour shifts debating if a Costco membership counts as an investment, you're not alone. None of us know what we're doing, and the ones that do, they're probably faking it better than the rest of us.
That's facts,
Everyone
bro.
moves at their own pace. Some people jump ahead and crash. Some fall behind and catch up later. Some disappear and come back with a beard and a business. But no matter where you're at, just don't get stuck. Don't let temporary become forever. Don't let comfort become your cage. And definitely don't convince yourself that burnout means you're just mature. That's not maturity. That's just poor hygiene and caffeine addiction. So take your time, take a nap, take a risk. But whatever you do, don't take advice from that one guy selling a $97 course on how to escape the Matrix. Okay, goodbye.
Yo, that was very tough. Fire video, bro. Gas.